NFL fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of the J All Day Sports Show. I'm on my lunch break right now, and we're going to do a full betting preview of this weekend's divisional playoff round. We got four really competitive games, guys. I'm going to talk about my picks for the spread. I'm going to go over the over-under, some of the ones that I like, and we're going to talk about some money line bets, some parlays. I'm going to do a full scope betting preview for you guys today. All right. Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs. The line's coming in at plus 8.5 for the Houston Texans. The Chiefs are laying 8.5. I'm taking the Houston Texans and the points, guys. But if I'm a bettor, what I want to do is buy the 1.5. That'll get you in that minus 140, minus 150 range, but you'll get 10 points for the Texans. The Chiefs' offense, especially the offensive line, has not been great this year. Mahomes has been sacked 36 times. The Houston Texans defense is top 5 in pretty much every single category. Pass defense, overall defense, number of sacks. So I think this is going to be a pretty low-scoring affair. So to beat a team by 10 points, I like the Texans. I'm going with the Texans to cover the 8.5, but as a bettor, I'm buying the 1.5 to get it up to 10. I think the Houston Texans plus 8.5 is the bet to make. And honestly, guys, I would not be surprised if the Texans shock the world and beat this Kansas City Chiefs team who's really struggled to protect Patrick Mahomes this year. And the Texans defense, look what they did last week. They forced so many turnovers. It was unbelievable, their performance last week. Very impressive stuff from the Texans. So in this game, I'm taking the Texans and the points. Next up, we have the Commanders and the Lions. Line is at 9.5. This is where it gets crazy to me. The Lions at home have been unbelievable. So I'm taking the Lions and laying the 9.5 points, guys. And then another bet I would like to do, buy the 1.5, get it down to 8. The Lions and 8 sounds pretty good to me. I think they cover either one of those spreads. I don't think you necessarily have to buy the points in this spot. I think the Lions win by 2 scores, right? And that'll push it over with a touchdown and a field goal over the 10 points. I think they win by over 2 scores. I really, really do. I like the Lions in this spot, laying the 9.5 points. All right. Next up, we got my Philadelphia Eagles and the LA Rams. The Eagles and the Rams played at SoFi Stadium in Week 12, and the Eagles kicked the dog shit out of the Rams. Saquon Barkley ran for 255 yards. He was unbelievable. And if the Eagles were able to beat them by 6 points at home in SoFi Stadium for the Rams, do you think Matt Stafford is going to fly across the country in the cold weather? It's going to be in the low 30s at game time, guys, and cover the 6 points. I don't really see that happening. Kyren Williams had some explosive plays versus this Eagles defense, and the Eagles did have Brandon Graham and Nakobe Dean in that game in LA, so you got to take that into consideration as well. But guys, I just like the way this Eagles defense is playing right now. They're the number 1 defense in the NFL. They are going to miss Nakobe Dean for sure, but they've been this good without Brandon Graham for multiple weeks, so I'm not worried about him not being there like he was in Week 12. And Burks is going to pop in that spot at linebacker. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles laying 6.5. I think they cover the 6 points, sorry. I really think they cover. And then if you want to, you could buy a 1.5, get it in that minus 140 range, and that'll bring it down to 4.5. I love that. The Eagles given 4.5 seems pretty juicy. Earlier in the week, the line was at 5.5. That's really when you wanted to get in and had the Eagles in -4. That's a great number to get in at if you did. I'm going with the Eagles, laying 6 points to the Rams at home. I do love the home teams in this spot. One parlay that I do really, really like, I'll show you, is the Chiefs, Lions, Eagles. Ravens, Bills, that's a coin flip game, guys. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills at home, getting a 1.5. And then what I would do is I would definitely buy the points in this spot if you want to bet it. That's probably going to come in that minus 150, 155 range. But you'll get the Buffalo Bills getting 3 points at home. I love those bets. Now let's talk about these totals. The over-under for the Texans-Chief game looks a little low to me. I'd take the over in this spot if I was a betting man. I think the over is interesting. I think a lot of the big bloated totals, but a lot of these games, if you look, they're all under like 45 points. I said that last week. And if you listen to my advice, you made a lot of money last week betting on the unders, right? Because the numbers were just bloated. Playoff football is kind of at a slower pace, a little more methodical. I don't love betting on this Chiefs-Texans over-under, but I'd probably pick the over. I think it's going to be in that 45-point range. And then Commanders-Lions. I'm going with the under all day long. And then you could even buy the 1.5 and bring it up to 57. There was no points in the wild card round over 50, guys. So I like the under in this Commanders-Lions spot. Rams-Eagles. This is one I'm not interested. I think the line is right on the money at 43.5 points. I don't love it. The Eagles got the number 1 defense. The Rams didn't play great against the Birds in Week 12. I'm staying away from this spot. I don't even have a bet on this. I guess I would probably maybe lean towards the under, but I'm not touching this game at all. I would stay away from the over-under in the Rams-Eagles game. And then this over-under looks a little bloated to me as well. Ravens-Bills, teams that want to run the ball. The clock's going to be churning all game long. I'm going with the under in the Bills-Ravens spot. Moneyline bets. The only moneyline bet I really like that I think is worth the juice is the Buffalo Bills at -105. Now we're going to go over to my sports book, guys. Pull up some of my bets. All right, the first bet I made is a 2-team parlay. Lions -585, so moneyline bet. And then the under of 52.5 points. For the Bills and the Ravens. I bought the 1.5, and it still comes in at even money, guys. An even money bet. I love that spot. All right, next up, guys, we got the 3-team favorites, home favorites parlay. Eagles, Lions, Chiefs. Very, very, very talented teams. And the Commanders, Rams, and Texans had pretty mediocre regular seasons. Big wins for the Rams and the Texans, but I think their luck runs out here. I love that spot for the 3 favorites. And then I have the 2 monster favorites, the Chiefs and the Lions. And I'm looking at this like I'm either going to win money on the Chiefs or the Chiefs won't be in the Super Bowl. So I'll be happy either way, guys. And then under 56.5 points, that's a huge number, man. If it goes over 56.5, kudos to the Commanders for putting up a shit ton of points. The Lions are going to score their points, guys. But I love this spot, under 56.5. There was no games even touching 50 points. You get an extra touchdown on top of that. I love that 3-team parlay. And then we have a nice little teaser, guys. I got the Chiefs +3, Lions +2, Bills getting 12, and the Rams getting 17. We teased it up with 11 points on all of these games. And then the last bet I have so far is Houston Texans covering the 9.5 points. I think the game will be close-ish, and if the Texans won, awesome. But 9.5 is a big number. The Chiefs haven't really beat anyone by over 10 points like all year long. They've all been down to the wire, very close games. So I'm just going with the numbers and the math for the season. And you got to remember, it's going to be cold. The teams are going to want to run the ball. The Chiefs hasn't played in a couple weeks. I don't expect them to come in and air it out right away, so the clock will be churning. All right, guys, that's my betting preview for the divisional round. Very, very exciting games, guys. I can't wait. Texans, Chiefs, Commanders, Lions, Rams, Eagles, Ravens, Bills. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite bets for this week? Am I on the money? Am I an absolute dipshit? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.